Hello, welcome, good afternoon. Welcome to the document teams in LibreOffice Impress and elsewhere talk. Who I am? I'm Miklos Vajna, I work for Collabora, and I started my LibreOffice journey in Writer, but this talk will be primarily focused on Impress, but we will look at how to reuse the same theming concept for other applications as well at some stage. So what are document themes? Document themes are meant to allow something like creating a presentation, a slide, which looks like the figure on the left-hand side, bluish colors, and then with a single click you should be able to switch to a different document theme, and then you get this in this more purple-like color on the right-hand side. So what it contains is it has a set of colors. This is a fixed set of 12 colors, and it also contains fonts and formattings, but we ignore these things for now, just to have some reasonable scope for this one. Regarding the colors, it's the 12 colors are a pair of black and white that's basically left unchanged all the time. There is a pair of lighter text color and darker. Darker is typically used as a background color, and lighter is the actual font color. Then we have 6 accent colors. All of these are more or less dark background colors used in charts and shapes and so on. And there is also a pair of colors for hyperlinks. These document themes are supported in Microsoft Office in all of Word, PowerPoint, and Excel. For now, we are focusing on Impress just because you have to start somewhere. Impress in the Impress case, these document themes are not just one document theme is provided in the document, but rather if you have multiple master pages, then you can have a different theme per master page. Which means that if you switch the master page, then you should be able to just switch to a new theme automatically. When this work initially started, then Miklos Vajna had a feature branch for LibreOffice where he started the prototype in Writer. Then later we got a customer need to have this in Impress. And much of the code is still shared, but this way we know what more or less needs to be done for Writer and have a good understanding of Impress. The Writer story is simpler because there is exactly one document theme per document. And I'm not sure about the CAG story, but we could investigate what Excel is doing there and come up with something similar. So when it comes to color support, then this is how it looks like. Some sample theme might have a figure like this. What you can see here, this is ignoring hyperlinks, but you can have an exact black and white color, some darker bluish background color, some lighter, which is like close to white, but it's still like some light gray as a text color. And then you can have these 6 accent colors, and typically the expectation is that white text is readable, or like light colors. Text using light colors is readable on these colors as a background. You can use colors in many contexts. So again, you need to start somewhere. We focused on shape text as a start. This means that the intention is that when you refer to some theme color, then you can also have effects. So let's say you pick accent 6, which is this orange-ish color, but you might want to have some lighter or darker variant. And if you later change what is the accent 6 color, then this effect of making it lighter or darker is preserved. So let's say you pick red instead, and if it was light orange before, then it will be light red now. That's some additional complexity. It's a nice feature, but then we had to support this, and the support for this is implemented today. So we are focusing on shape text as a start. You could do the same for like shape fill, like solid fill, or gradient fill, or line color, like the outline of shapes typically have a line, and those can have some color, and so on and so on. I'm sure there are a few more contexts. So the use case is that when you select colors, then provide a way that you can select them, specify them not just as an RGB color, but you actually select these from a theme, which is kind of a color palette. And the special property of these theme colors is that when the theme changes, then the uses of that color are also updated. This means that designers can create generic templates, which not only look good, but you just provide the colors of your organization in some document theme, and then once you update the theme in the document to match your colors, then the template will automatically look good even inside your organization. You might wonder how this interacts with styles. Because again, styles allow something similar, like you can have, let's say, some title text style, and that might be some character style, and the character style might also provide some color, which means that if you use that style consistently, then later with a single click you can change the color of that character style, let's say from yellow to red. So perhaps we are reinventing the wheel here, but no, this is like the two can work together. You can refer to theme colors. These are really like named colors, so you can refer to theme colors even from styles, and then you can refer to the same theme color from multiple styles, perhaps even from like paragraph style, character style, and so on, and still have a central single place where the actual RGB value of that color is defined. So this is why it's useful to have document themes, even if we have styles already. Similarly, we have a color palette in LibreOffice, which is useful. Like, it encourages that you don't pick random RGB colors, but rather you consistently pick colors from a fixed set. But then document colors are a special palette, because normally when you insert the color from a palette, then the RGB value is copied, and in this case we still keep a reference to the theme index, and this is how it's possible to update the theme and then like by the user, and then automatically update all the uses of that color in the document. So as mentioned, compared to Writer, the Impress case is a bit more complicated. We can have themes per master page, and then you have a trade-off here. You might want a simpler update code, or you might want fast rendering. If you want fast rendering, then you pre-calculate all the colors when the theme is changing. So basically this is implemented at the UI level. Or you might want simpler updater code, which would mean that you update the document model that here is my new theme, and then you have some kind of references to all of these theme colors, and then you can notify them and calculate them as part of rendering. Which would mean that we don't have copies of these colors anywhere in the document model. For the moment, we are going for the first. So the document model still contains RGB colors for each and every shape text portion, which means fast rendering, but then the updating of the theme is a little bit more complicated. We have explicit code in place which visits all the text portions of the document and checks if there is a theme color there that needs updating. Then the UI is split to two pieces. First you need to define a theme, and then you need to refer to those theme colors. So first, to define a theme, you need to switch to master page mode in Impress, and then there is a master view button to do that. And then if you go to the slide menu and slide properties, there is a new theme tab there, or you can just right click and go to slide properties. What you can see there is that there is a name you can give to the theme. There is a name you can assign to the color set. This will be more meaningful once we will have fonts and other things here as well, because then you can assign names to that as well. And then you can name the inner containers and the theme in general. So let's say you have this named color set, and then you can define the 12 colors. And at the moment, all of this is empty for new Impress documents. They are typically preferred like this, what's visible in the screenshot for opened PPTX files. Then you might want to refer to a theme. When you do that, then you can either do that from the menu bar or from the sidebar. What's visible here in the screenshot is the sidebar case. So you go to the sidebar to change the character color, and then this color picker pop-up appears, and you have the choice of various palettes there. There is a special new theme colors palette there, and what you see there is a matrix of colors. All of the one column is one theme color. The first row is the color as is, and then there are these presets to have lighter and darker variants. So you don't have to specify these color effects manually. So this is basically what we have today. In case you are interested in like how this is implemented, I have a few more details. So there are many layers here, how the whole feature is put together. So it's before you would be quite confused, like this guy making this photo with many mirrors and many resulting in many layers. Let's focus on just the document model. The document model works by having all these properties for text portions, which are pool items, and we have a color pool item that contains the RGB color. Now we have new members there. There is a theme index, which is necessary for the update of the color. And also we have new members for storing the luminance, modulation, and offset, which combining these allows to have an effect which results in lighter or darker variants. There is also tinting and shading, which will be used for writer. But as far as the end user is concerned, they have a similar effect. Now the theme itself, we have the draw pages in Impress, like one draw page per slide, and then the page has the separate page properties member, and there is an optional new theme member. The theme is a name and the color set, and the color set is a name and a vector of 12 colors. Now we have the UNO API on top of this. This is useful for scripting purposes, also the ODP import export, and the PPTX import is using this API. So we can set the theme index. We can specify the luminance, modulation, and offset here. And again, tinting and shading is there, but that's not used in the Impress case. For the theme itself, the draw page has a reference to the master page, and the master page has a new theme property there. And the theme is this generic property values type, which allows to provide the theme name, the color scheme name, and an actual color scheme. And the color scheme itself is a list of these 12 color values, which are basically integers. Now when it comes to rendering, the update happens at the UI level, as I mentioned it before. But still we need to render this lighter and darker color variants. So what we have is that we have this color class in the tools module, and it already had this apply tint or shade method added by Tomasz. So I added a new apply luminance modulation and offset member function there, which applies this additional two effects. And this is meant to be like bit by bit compatible with PowerPoint. If you set some parameters here and you use a color picker to check what's the resulting RGB value in Impress and PowerPoint, then these are meant to be the same. So once we have something that we can render, you might want to save it and later load it back. This is working with PPTX and ODP. So for PPTX, we have the markup already, like it's part of the standard. What was a bit of tricky there is that there were some earlier effort to at least preserve these theme colors and the theme itself. So these are stored in grab bags. But now we have user interface in place to actually change these. So there might be a conflict on the export side in case there is one value in the grab bag and one value in the real document model. So what we do there is that if there is something in the document model, then we use that. Otherwise, we fall back to the grab bag. This means that in case earlier you relied on at least preserving like shape fill with theme colors, then this is not broken. But now the portion shape text color is actually a native thing without any grab bag. For UTF, this requires designing a bit of markup, but we already had markup for storing color palettes as LibreOffice specific thing. So that's what I reused here. A master page can have a theme child element, and we can have a color table there, and inside that we can have an actual color. As part of the work, I tried to not have some final stage where we try to cover this work with tests, but rather have testing as part of developing, always adding new changes and then covering with the test, and do this in pairs and do this all the time. So this resulted in a larger list of CPP unit tasks, which have a bit of theming functionality in it. And similarly, there are two UI tasks for the actual user interface. So how the user interface is implemented. The theme itself is a new tab page in the slide properties dialog in the common UI module. And then referring to this theme is if you do this from the character properties dialog, then there is an character effects page already, and that has the color picker, and the color picker is extended with this special color theme, theme colors special palette that's showing the colors from the currently selected master page. And for the sidebar, it's quite similar, the same color picker, but then we needed to extend the UNO command with some new parameters so that this theming metadata is like the theming index and the luminance modulation and offset is preserved. Then I wanted to add some new help page for the new tab page on the user interface, and I was looking for some example. So there was that text column support for shape text that was added a bit earlier by Mike Kagansky, and that has only two widgets, so it sounded simple to follow, but it had no master help page. So I added one for that first, and then later a dedicated help page for the new theme tab page, which should be useful in case you wonder like what's the function of these colors, because this is not really covered in the OXML spec. So I try to guess based on what I see in documents in practice, how these colors are used, and then document these practices in the help page. So that's mostly it. Thanks to Suza for sponsoring and working with Collabora to have this feature. So this was a joint effort between the two companies. And at least we have a good foundation for Impress and shape text, and hopefully we can expand on this to other areas of Impress and also outside of Impress. So what we have today is a good start of theming support in LibreOffice, focusing on Impress and focusing on colors and in particular on shape text. But hopefully this will be generalized in multiple directions in the near future. Thanks for listening. Bye bye.